financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to Law and Reality. Brian Small, good morning. It is nice to see you this morning in your nice blue shirt. Everything good with you?
A pleasure to be here, Ken. I didn't know we were doing a show on fashion, but thank you for the compliment on the shirt.
Well, by speaking of fashion, Trevor Cruz from our Debt Resolution Department's with us today. Trevor, good to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me, Ken. Really happy to be here.
I have to say, Trevor gets the A+ for attire for the day.
Suspenders and a tie.
You look
Every
very
day,
professional.
I think, is the general consensus.
Trevor
in the
has
office.
that definite lawyer look and is the standard in the office that we all try and get to. Yeah, I want you to take that as a bit of advice for you, Brian.
Are you wearing blue jeans too?
No, I am not.
Okay.
No, I am not. All right, topic today and next week, the show that's going to air on November 15th, is going to be retired with too little income and too much debt, which I think is a big problem, hits a lot of people. I'm going to be the client. You guys are going to be the lawyer. I'm going to switch roles sometimes and be the lawyer as well, but we're going to go through some scenarios. But the first thing we have to identify is, what is the problem? And
Well,
the problem...
why don't you just identify the solution?
No. First,
Get a haircut and get a real job.
there you go. Too little income, too much debt, too many expenses. It's a tough situation when you're retired. And where does the problem root back to? Well, there's a good article in the Wall Street Journal back in October called Baby Boomers Hugely Underestimate the Need for Retirement, written by Kate Davidson. And it pointed out...
No. I don't think they hugely underestimate the need for retirement. It's hugely underestimate what they need for retirement. Because that's what the article actually is titled.
Well, yes and no, because in the article says that they estimated that they thought they were going to have $45,000 a month of $45,000 a year of income in retirement, and they felt comfortable and confident that they would be okay. But then it finds out that they only have $9,129 of income coming from their retirement, and they got a $36,000 gap, which
So
is
this is
astronomical when you think of the numbers.
Translation: on top of the available Social Security that they may have, they expected to be able to draw $45,000 out of their retirement savings.
So total with Social Security.
Total with Social Security. That doesn't make any sense. But go on.
Well, it's just people ages 55 to 64 expect to have about $45,000 in annual income in retirement. What they found they would only have is $9,129, a potential $36,000 gap. So
That's above and beyond Social Security.
although the article isn't written that way, but I think I would have to agree with you for the simple reason that everyone's going to have more than $9,000 in Social Security. Not everyone, but virtually everyone. Anyway, the article, Russ Kosterich, BlackRock's global chief investment strategist, is pointing out that one of the big problems is it takes a lot more money in savings now to generate the income you need out of retirement because interest rates are so low. And the other factor that they're saying is that with the millennials coming up down the road, they're going to live longer and have a longer period of retirement unless they work longer, and they're going to have even greater needs to cover their retirement.
Well, do you really believe that? I mean, we know they're probably going to live longer, but do you really think they're going to be
Retiring
retired
at 66?
for any less period of time?
No. Chances are for a guy like Trevor, the full retirement age in Social Security will probably be pushed back for you probably 70, 72 by the time you get there. Mm-hmm. They're not talking about doing that right now. That won't affect you. You'll probably be around 68 by the time we get there. Right now you're 67.
Well, full retirement age is 67, yeah. But the reality is that
You'll work to 75.
yeah, people will work longer.
They'll have to.
Yes, they will have to. But when we were young, when I was young, old was 75.
Careful. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I was careful because I thought you were going to say
No,
old
no.
was
When
60.
50 years ago, old was 75. You were retired.
Actually,
point.
when I was Trevor's age, I thought 40 was old.
But today.
But I
it's-
didn't know anything when I was
But-
Trevor's
but-
age, and that's what I've learned over the course of the years is you don't learn very much as you go.
Today it's not. Today you see many, many people still working 70, 75 years old because they're healthier, they're living longer.
Well, that's another one of the problems that was pointed out is how long people thought that they'd live, and they have a habit of underestimating their age. There was a study back in a study recently came out that used a group of people that were measured in 1992, and among those that thought they had no chance to living to age 75 back in 1992, half of them, 49%, made it to 75. And then of the people that were asked, what chance of reaching 75 do you have, that said they were 50-50, 75% of them made it to 75. So the point being is that people tend to live longer than they expect, but they don't set up their retirement and their savings to get there. So here's what I want to do. Let's play I'm the retiree. Although we're going to change the facts. Instead of me being a modest 49 years old like I'm like to pretend, I'm going to be 75, and Bonnie, my wife's going to be 75.
Dementia's setting in early already.
These
A
things
little
happen.
concerned.
What was your name? So I'm 75, Bonnie's 75. I'm here at Thav Gross. I saw you guys on the Law and Reality TV show, and I thought I'd come in and say, I'm concerned about my finances. I want some help. I'm not quite sure what it all means, but I know I've got some problems. And I can tell you right off the bat, I am healthy, knock on wood, and my plan is to live to 95. That's my goal. I've got good family genes. All right, here's what I got. Assets in the bank. I got $10,000 in cash. I have an IRA with $100,000. I got some personal property, so I got $115,000 in assets. Here's my big problem. I got $50,000 of credit card debt, $7,500 of medical bills. Monthly income, I'm drawing Social Security. I get $2,500 a month. Bonnie gets $1,000. We work part-time, or I work part-time. I work at a golf course, make a couple $1,000s a month between that, and I drive my car for Uber and pick up money there. So I got about $5,500 a month coming in. I'm not flush, but I got $5,500 coming in. That's what I'm living off of. When we come back from the break, I'll go over my expenses.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the medicated nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. I got Brian Small, Trevor Cruz. I'm the client. I'm 75 years old. Let me tell you my expenses. I gave you my income. I'm spending $2,300 a month between rent and utilities. Cable and phone, $150. I got insurance on Medicare. I got insurance for prescription coverage. That's another $225 and $95. I got a car payment, car insurance, food and dentist, food and entertainment, dentist. I've got credit card payments of $1,250 a month. That's on my $50,000 of credit card debt. My total expenses are $6,345 a month. I'm short income versus expense, $845. What's going to happen to me? First, you guys can tell me, or I can tell you, I'll play lawyer for a second. If I keep borrowing on the cards, that's what I've done. I borrowed on the cards because I was $845 short every month, and now I've maxed them out. The only alternative I have is, and I started doing it, my IRA is now $100,000. It used to be $120,000. I've been taking from the IRA to pay that $845 shortfall. Here's my problem. My IRA of $100,000, if we divide it by the $845 I'm short every month, that's 118 months. Divide 118 months by 12, that means in 9.8 years, my IRA is going to be down to zero. I'm only going to be 84 at that point, and I'm going to have no money, and I'm still going to be $845 short per month.
And you're still going to have $50,000 in credit card debt.
Yes.
Regardless. So,
I'm gonna have
because all
50
you're doing,
and I'm going to be $845 short, and I don't know what to do.
because if you take out your credit card statements right now, you'll see on most credit cards there's a box. It says how much you have to pay to get rid of your debt in 3 years and how long it will last
39 years, it says. I
if
checked.
you will pay the minimum monthly payment.
All right, so 39 years isn't a really big problem. I'll be 114.
Okay, so you'll be dead, so it won't matter.
Well,
Except for one problem.
what if I live?
It's unlikely that you will live past 114. There is a little old lady in Poughkeepsie somewhere that's that old.
I don't know. Is there?
Probably. That being said, let's be realistic. You've got $50,000 for the credit card debt. You're doing nothing but paying the interest effectively on it. You're not getting any headway, and you're going to run out of money before you run out of debt. The goal is you either have to do one of three things. You have to eliminate the debt, make yourself uncollectible from the debt, or move to Guam.
I could increase my income.
But,
What if I'm 75 years old? What if I just work harder at the golf course? No, it's a problem. I can't increase my income at this point. I'm locked in, and my income is vulnerable. What if I get to the point where my health isn't good enough to work the part-time jobs and to drive for Uber? What if Uber says you're too old to drive for us?
Exactly. So now you've got to look at what are your solutions within the parameters.
By the way, Uber I'm just using fictitiously for those of you that are watching.
You have to work within the parameters of what you got.
Yeah. Now here's a big point I want to make. I want to kind of step back for a second. All the time, and I'm sure the two of you are going to agree with me, elderly couples come into our office and they have the credit card debt and they know how much is in their IRA, but they don't walk into the office realizing and thinking about the fact that the shortfall they have is going to exhaust their savings well in advance of their projected and ideal time that they're going to live to, and that they're going to run out of money. We had a client years ago that came in and they had drawn their IRA down from $250 down to $100. They still had $100,000 of credit card debt, and at that point they had wasted $150,000 of their IRA. That was because they were paying for 2 houses that were underwater in Florida. The whole point being is that if you're in a situation where you've got credit card debt and it's putting you in a position where you're drawing against your retirement funds, that problem is going to result in you running out of money, and it's going to very well likely happen before you've passed away. And that's something you have to prevent from happening. So Brian, I need you to tell me, in my fact pattern, what's the best way of getting out of this debt?
Don't forget about the fact that if one of you dies, the other isn't necessarily going at the same time, which means Social Security income gets cut.
And then if I die, Bonnie's going to have to work at the golf course and drive the car.
At the same time.
Right.
Well, she can drive from one hole to the next.
That, you're making a big point. People walk in as a couple with their Social Security, and they don't even factor in the fact that when one passes away, boom, you've lost that. You've lost that spouse's benefit.
Or you've lost whoever's benefit is
the
least.
The lesser of the two. All right, so we got about a minute before the break. What's the best solution for me in this situation with these facts?
Well, the first place I'm going to look is at Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And you're going to go and look at me and go, oh my God, a bankruptcy? I never thought I would ever be in this position.
I've always paid all my bills and I have a 700 credit score.
Absolutely. And that credit score isn't doing anything for you today. I don't care whether you have an 849 credit score. It's not doing anything for you today.
I'm very proud of my credit score.
That's great. But at this point, it's us against the bank, and who has to win? You have a limited amount of income and a limited amount of savings, and it has to last you for the rest of your life. The bank has an unlimited amount of income and an unlimited amount of money.
Spare me for 1 minute the bank speech, because I know you love your bank speech, because you do it with Cliff Russell on Tuesdays at between 12 and 1 every week as well. But what I'm really focused on is, when we come back from the break, is what are you going to do with a Chapter 7 to get rid of this credit card debt, and how's it going to affect me going forward? That's what I really need to know from you.
I'm going to make you debt-free, and I'm going to give you positive life experiences because you won't be paying debt for the rest of your life.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. All right, so Brian, I want you to walk us through how you're going to solve Ken and Bonnie's problem with Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But before I do that, I want to do quick announcements. I want to welcome our Flint viewers watching on Fox 66. I want to remind viewers to check out our new Law and Reality website. There's also a new Thav Gross website that you can check out as well. And we have a seminar coming up. It is Wednesday, December 9th. The best gift is becoming debt-free.
Ooh, I like it.
You like that one?
I do. I like that.
All right, we're going to talk about at the seminar the issues that we talk about on the show of how we get rid of credit card debt, how we use bankruptcy the right way to exit debt as fast as possible, when bankruptcy works, when bankruptcy doesn't work, what's the right strategy to deal with the house, whether it's underwater, whether it's rental property, all these issues. Tax problems, offer and compromise, how does that work versus installment payments? When do those things work? When don't they work? And which is the best alternative? The whole thing is about identifying the correct options. Seminar is from 7 to 8:30, Wednesday, December 9th at our offices in Bingham Farms. You can sign up for it at thavgross.com or lawandreality.com, or you can call 888-235-HELP. There's also free reports available on the website. Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Samasco and Reg X Special Report, How to Save Your Home with Regulation X, The Hidden Secrets. You can get both of those reports at either website, the Law and Reality website or Thav Gross. There's also the Financial Crisis Analyzer that will analyze your numbers and your circumstance and give you a range of options as to how to address the debt.
And remember, if you can't get those reports because you're not computer savvy, you can always call our offices at 888-235-HELP, 888-235-4357, and we will happily send you out the report.
That's a good point. And we'll also put that phone number on the screen that you're watching on TV so you can get the number that way as well. I know you're more in tune with the radio.
Hey, what can I tell
All
you?
right, Chapter 7. Oh, wait, I want to thank our sponsors, Thav Gross and Samasco Law. All right, Chapter 7. Will I fit and qualify under a Chapter 7? I've got $5,500 of income. Isn't that a potential problem that my income is too high?
You know what? At first blush, you might think that your income is too high, but here's the beauty
because of this thing called a means test?
Right, but Social Security income doesn't count into the means test. So when all we have to do in this situation is look at income and expenses. Do you spend more money or the same amount of money to live, eat, sleep, and breathe as you have coming in? You told us in your fact pattern you're negative $845 a month.
But that's paying $1,250 a month on the credit cards.
True. And so we have a little bit of an income situation if we weren't paying $1,250 in the credit cards, that we might have to slow down our working at the golf course.
I'm not going to work at the golf
Uber
course
driving,
in the winter.
Or we might have to look at the timing of when to file, because there's a 6-month period of time where you're not going to be working at the golf course. So we might
Time
have
it the
to,
correct way.
timing is going to be the important thing.
But you can make a Chapter 7 work.
Most likely.
What
yes.
happens to my IRA?
You keep it.
Okay. Do I get evicted from my apartment?
Or your house? No.
Okay, I don't own the house. I'm just renting.
You keep everything that you own.
What about my $10,000 of cash I have in the
You
bank?
keep it. You can cut.
How long does it take? I mean, Trevor, how long does this process take to do a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and where, how many court, do I have to go to court? What's going to happen to me?
Let me give you the timing, and then I'll let Trevor talk about court. Timing, from the day we file the case until the day you're done, is approximately 4 months.
And I'm done.
You're done. Now, the court experience is what Trevor mainly handles, and Trevor, is that long and complicated?
Yes, it's extremely long. No, I'm kidding. It's not long or complicated at all.
You scared me there,
Yeah,
Trevor.
and typically it's just one appearance, the first meeting of creditors, or the 341 hearing.
And how long does that take?
Well, the hearing itself takes about 5 minutes. Sometimes it might take an hour or two because you got to sit there and wait for your case to get called. It's typically just that one hearing. Sometimes clients have to come back for a second one. That's usually when they forget their Social Security card or driver's license.
So generally
if you
speaking,
have those two things,
that's
you're
all you
off
gotta
to a
do.
great start.
And
Yeah.
it's one hearing, and you're basically done, right?
Get called up there in front of the trustee. Trustee asks questions about your finances.
As I recall, the trustee used to ask you'd have to say your name. Have you read the petition? Yes. Was it true then? Yes. Is it true now? Yes. And show him your driver's license.
Did you read the bankruptcy information sheet? A few
Is that
other
about
things.
it, Brian?
It is because
The
and
case is well prepared.
our hearings go smoothly, and that's the way it is because we prepare our clients and we do all the hard work behind the scenes. You can see the difference when you're at court and you'll see a lawyer whose client is not prepared, and the hearing will last 25, 30 minutes, and everybody will be sitting there groaning and complaining that why wasn't he prepared?
But when you do it the right way, it's basically 5 minutes. You're in and out. You just have to wait for your case to get called. It's not a big court hearing. There's no cameras. There's no movie. You're not going to be on E-Network afterwards because you were in bankruptcy.
There's a few other
It's
people
not
in
cranes.
the room
People don't know about it.
that are
It
there
just
for the
comes and
same
goes.
exact thing as you're there for because
So it's
they
a-
filed bankruptcy.
It's a fast, easy process. 4 months. The debt is completely gone. The medical bills, the credit card debt, it's all gone.
Absolutely.
It's a good deal. All right, now we're going to carry this over into the next segment, but I want to kind of change the facts a little bit and then see what impact that has. Now, without going into it in specifics now, I want to add into the fold, what if I do have a house? And if I have a house and I have equity in the house, how is that going to impact
Well,
things?
the amount of equity you have in your home impacts whether or not, it doesn't impact whether you qualify for a Chapter 7 or not. It impacts whether or not you're going to get to keep your home. You see, the trustee's job is to marshal assets and collect them and distribute them to the unsecured creditors. So if you have too much equity in your home, but you have to file a Chapter 7 no matter what, let's change the scenario. Instead of having $50,000 worth of credit card debt, you've got $1 million worth of debt, okay? And no matter what, you need to file that Chapter 7. Well, if you file a Chapter 7 and you've got $150,000 equity in your home, under the Michigan exemptions, you can keep $57,000 at your age. So the trustee is going to sell your house, give you $57,000 from the sale, and take the rest and distribute it to your creditors. If you own a home together with your wife and you have no joint debt,
like a credit card debt that's in both of our names?
right?
Okay.
So you could have $1 million in debt, but there's no joint debt. You can keep the house under the Michigan exemptions for tenancy by the entirety.
Now, the $57,000, was that the federal exemptions?
That is the state exemption.
Under the
Federal
federal
exemptions,
rules?
you get to keep about $40,000 as a husband and wife.
Gotcha, okay.
So bankruptcy is an option. You just got to look at
So
it.
let's assume, well, in our next segment of Law and Reality, we're going to flush this out a little bit more carefully. Thanks for watching.